Hi besties, and welcome to my channel. This is going to be a timeless love reading for the sign of Taurus. So we are going to look at you and the person you are connected to, Taurus, in an intense or just like a soul connection, a love connection. Now, it's always my intention that your energy should come out first in these readings, but it's happened, where the energies actually end up being switched around. So give it a second. You'll know intuitively if this reading is for you, if the storyline resonates with you. And yeah, if you find that you need to switch the energies around, please do that, and it's no big thing. Now, I've shuffled all of these cards, and as I was shuffling, a lot of feminine energy already came up for you, Taurus. We had the tiger, and it's here on the bottom, and I also saw the whale. So both of those are very divine feminine coded. So I feel like already right off the bat, you're already leaning into your divine feminine energy. You know, you're not chasing, you're attracting whoever this person is that you are connected to. But we're going to see what else comes out for you. So thank you, Spirit. Let's look at our Taurus viewers' energy, please, when it comes to this connection right now. So right away, we have the black egg on the cut. So this card talks a lot about living in truth and speaking your truth and knowing what that truth is, even if it's, you know, not something you necessarily want to face. It's authenticity. It's living in authenticity. So right off the bat, I get the sense that you are certainly, you know, again, embracing your divine feminine energy and learning, you know, what your truth is when it comes to this connection. You know, what you will tolerate, what you won't tolerate. You know, I think also learning truths about yourself. You know, peeling back layers of things maybe you have not really fully faced. You know, in terms of like childhood traumas or shadow aspects of yourself that you're still trying to overcome. But I get the sense that you are doing the work to overcome them with all the divine feminine energy that already came out. But let's see what else comes out for our Taurus viewer, please, Spirit. Ooh, we have the owl. So the owl is, of course, all about wisdom. This owl in particular is also, I feel like there's a sense of clairvoyance, a sense of you know, just being aware or becoming more aware of the spirit world or signs and synchronicities that the universe is sending you. I feel like the owl also talks about gifts from the divine, or like being a messenger of sorts. So I also know that the owl talks about a blessing being on the way to you. So spirit's probably sending you signs and blessings, even if they're not necessarily fully apparent to you at this moment. Let's do one more cut. Ooh, okay, so we have the dragon on this cut. So the dragon is very much about, you know, kind of seeing past the ego, and seeing things from your true self, from your soul self. So I get the sense that perhaps you've gone through or are going through an ego death of sorts. You know, it's part of the process. If you feel like this is a very strong soul connection, or if twin flame resonates with you, you know, if you've been going through a lot of pain and purging lately and like letting your ego fall away, you're starting to live more from your soul self, from your authentic truth, from that black egg energy, right? And with the otter here, this is the happiest card in the animal spirit deck. So I get the sense that you're very focused on your own happiness right now as well. So beautiful energy for you, Taurus, before we even begin. But let's see what happens on the cut, what ends up on the bottom of the deck here for our Taurus viewer. The butterfly. So you are going through transformation, my friend, and it's beautiful just to even be part of this energy. So I get the sense that, yeah, you've gone through a lot of healing, and this sort of rebirth energy, leaning into your divine feminine and, you know, letting the universe work things out for you instead of you trying to push and like force an outcome. You know what I mean? But thank you, Spirit. Let's get a closer look at our Taurus viewers' energy when it comes to this connection, please. Thank you, Spirit. Our Taurus viewers' energy when it comes to this connection that they have on their mind. Our Taurus viewers' energy. A very specific card wants to come out for you, Taurus. So we'll see what it ends up being. The dolphin! So this is beautiful energy too. This is all about, you know, this is light worker energy, embracing your healing journey, or like being a healer. That could resonate with you. Dolphins are also very intelligent, very happy, very just intuitively connected. So I get the sense that, yeah, you're certainly focusing on your healing, on elevating yourself spiritually, and perhaps you're stepping into wanting to be a light worker of some sort, and allowing that light to shine outwards and be a beacon for others. That's dolphin energy. This is water energy too, so very in touch with your emotions. You may have water placements. Obviously you are a Taurus, so your sun sign might not be water, but you might have other water placements in there. But here we go. The dolphin energy for you, Taurus. I was going to say Virgo, but that's not right. So dolphins are innately intelligent, healers, light, and blessings. So that's two things about blessings with the owl and this dolphin. But here in the guidebook, it says, the gifts of the dolphin are beyond what our human minds can grasp. Dolphin personalities are often drawn to the healing arts, as they are sensitive to the subtle and enjoy working on the level of spirit. It's easy for dolphin types to underestimate the impact they make in the world. These creatures play such an important role in the wheel of karma that coming in contact with a dolphin type will change the entire course of your day, and thus your life. This card can also indicate a profound blessing is on the way. So if you've been feeling down lately, trust that the universe has got your back. I trust that you are also doing all of the correct stuff, all of the right work, in healing and, releasing all of the things that no longer serve you. You're letting your ego fall away, living from your soul self. And I also see that you're stepping into, how you can be a light for others. And that's just absolutely beautiful, Taurus. I keep wanting to say Virgo because I just did Virgo's reading, but maybe your person's a Virgo. But beautiful. So now we're gonna go ahead and look at your person's energy, the person you're connected to, and see what energy they are currently embodying when it comes to this connection. Thank you, Spirit. Let's go ahead and look at our Taurus person's energy, or their person's energy. You know what I mean, Spirit. Our Taurus person's energy, the person they're connected to. Ooh, so we have the cheetah here. So this is really cool because you have the tiger, right, which is divine feminine energy. I also told you when I was shuffling, the whale energy came up, also divine feminine energy. Your person has the cheetah. This is divine masculine energy. So I feel like, your person is rising up to meet you if you guys aren't in contact currently. Yeah, I feel like they're doing the work that they need to do to evolve and heal. And, I feel like they want to run towards you. I feel like that's what this is saying. You can see this cheetah is very much in a running position. So I feel like, if nothing else, your person is elevating, is stepping into their masculine energy, and not running from the connection anymore, or they're making steps to come back to you. That's what I should say. They also got the owl here on their cut. So again, something about blessing, something about being wise and aware of spirit. And yeah, I get the sense that your person is elevating too. So that's beautiful. Let's see what else comes up for them. Thank you, Spirit. For our Taurus viewers person, it's a mouthful every time. Our Taurus viewers person, what energy are they in? Ooh, we have the crocodile. So the crocodile is very much hanged man energy. It's, a divine pause, a surrendering, a cooling off period. So I feel like, if your person is not, if you guys are not in contact right now, they're definitely taking time to, collect themselves, collect their energy, and, get to a place where they can embody that cheetah energy, that divine masculine energy, and come back towards you. And, the owl, again, we talked about, seeing signs from spirit, wise, clairvoyant in a way. So I feel like they're they're ascending too. And this was happening with who did I say? Virgo. Their person seemed to be elevating too. So maybe it's a collective just thing that's happening right now that divine counterparts are starting to just come more into alignment. Let's look a little bit more at our Taurus viewers person's energy. Sorry, friends. We have the Swan. So this is somebody who is highly, highly creative. I feel like this is also very much a twin flame card because you can see that in the bottom here, the swan is reflected, right? And if you're familiar with the idea of twin flames, you know that the idea is that you guys are sort of mirrored souls, right? So, you know, mate for life, you know, it's going to expose your deepest held wounds and things that you thought maybe that you had overcome a long time ago. It's just going to bring all that back up to the surface and make you have to deal with it in ways that you hadn't before. But I feel like, again, your person is embracing this energy, embracing their creative side, and just kind of letting that mirror be the reflection and sitting with it, like the swan is sitting with it, instead of trying to, again, run from it. So let's see what ends up on the bottom of the deck here for your person, I should say. For our Taurus viewers person. Ooh, the lizard. So yeah, I get the sense that your person is elevating in their own way. The lizard talks about somebody who is highly perceptive too, like has a sort of sixth sense about things. But I always think of the 12th house in astrology, if you guys are familiar. It's the house of the unknown, of the unseen. Lizard people are very naturally attuned to the unknown, but they're also very easily overwhelmed by other energies and need a lot of time alone to kind of recharge and regroup themselves. And with that crocodile energy too, I very much get the sense that that is what your person is doing right now, even though behind the scenes they are still elevating and growing. So thank you, Spirit. Let's get a closer look at our Taurus viewers person, their energy right now when it comes to this connection, please, Spirit. Thank you so much. Our Taurus viewers person, what energy are they currently embodying when it comes to this connection? Thank you, Spirit. Our Taurus viewers person. There we go. Let's see. Ooh, they have the bee. So this is somebody who is, you know, very focused, I think, on their material world. This is air energy, I believe. Yes, so air placements could be symbolic or have meaning. Your person could be an air sign or have significant air placements. Ooh, and then on the bottom here, we have the stingray for your person. So the stingray is basically about growing a backbone and learning to stand up for yourself and what you want, and, you know, not letting people walk all over you or intimidate you anymore. So I feel like your person is doing the work to build themselves back up, to step into this divine masculine energy that they have perhaps stepped back from or have not been embodying in the most productive ways up until this point. But they're definitely, with the bee, doing their own work. I feel like, again, they're very focused on perhaps their material world. This little bee has this like bubble around her, and so she's kind of like in her own space right now, and she's doing the work that she needs to do to, you know, elevate her hive and elevate herself as, and, you know, in tandem with that. But let's look and see what it says in the guidebook here. Thank you, Spirit. Let's look at the bumblebee. So bee personalities are earnest, hardworking, and democratic. So it says here, the bee personality is a delight to be around, especially when there's a team project on the horizon. Bees love to work steadily and thoughtfully until the final task is complete. Excuse me. They are sensitive creatures, aware of many subtleties at once. Again, that lizard energy. Since they're artists at heart, so your person could be an artist or, you know, just dabble in that realm. They usually add creative details to the overall vision. For the most part, they have bustling, joyous personalities until they're too tired from all the work. Then they gripe and then sting. So, yeah, I get the sense that, again, your person is just busy doing the work to focus on themselves and build themselves up and build up this backbone that they have. Underneath the I knew I saw the frog there. Underneath the stingray, we have fire ant energy, and this talks about somebody who is agitated, somebody who is kind of stewing on a connection. So your person is definitely thinking about you and thinking about how things have gone down, if you guys have been in no contact or had some sort of falling out that caused your separation. There's definitely still thinking about you and stewing, and they're aggravated at themselves, at the situation, at, what have you. However, underneath that, we had the frog, underneath the fire ant. So they're definitely cleansing and healing, and again, doing the work to step up and, be the counterpart that you need, essentially, is what I'm getting. But wonderful. We're going to go ahead and look a little deeper into both of your energies here with some oracle cards. So thank you, Spirit. Starting with our Taurus. I keep wanting to say Virgo. Maybe you have Virgo placements, or your person does. But let's go ahead and look deeper into this dolphin energy, please, Spirit, for our Taurus viewers. This dolphin energy. Ooh, so we have broken, and we also have spying. So I feel like, something definitely has happened between you two, or, you guys are in no contact or in some sort of separation, and it's caused you a lot of heartbreak and pain. This very much gives me, the broken card gives me Ten of Swords energy. So feeling like you kind of hit rock bottom, maybe feeling like you've been betrayed or backstabbed in some way, shape, or form by this bumblebee person. We also have spying. So I get the sense that if you guys are in no contact, that you guys are, or you in particular, are keeping an eye on your person, maybe through social media or through mutual friends, just trying to get the tea. Get the tea or keep the tea. You know what I mean? Let's look a little more. Thank you, Spirit. A little more into this dolphin energy. We have obscurity. So I feel like you secrets, mysteries, and concealing. So I get the sense, I don't know if you have been maybe holding back from your person. They're not really seeing you clearly. That's what this could mean. But I get the sense that you feel like your person, this bumblebee person, was hiding stuff from you or not being completely forthright or honest with you. Take that how it resonates. Either you're holding back from your bumblebee, or you feel like they've been holding back from you and you're not getting the full picture. Let's look a little more into this dolphin person, please. Ooh, influences. So we have attachments, third parties, and peers. So maybe you were in a third party situation, or you felt like you were made an option by this bumblebee person. Maybe you had outside stuff going on. Maybe you had a third party situation. Maybe you were involved with somebody when this bumblebee person came in, and that caused a bunch of, hullabaloo. You could also just be very focused on work or spending time with friends, having fun with friends, and just kind of elevating your own energy in that way. Let's do one more cut, please. Spirit for this dolphin person. For this dolphin person. Ooh, bitterness. So whatever has gone on between you two, you're definitely holding on to, resentment or just kind of like negative feelings. I feel like you are seeing the red flags for what they are, which is great. And although you are doing healing, you are healing yourself and doing your best to step into, again, that divine feminine energy and, attract, not chase, and stepping into maybe becoming a light worker. it doesn't change the fact that this bumblebee person affected you in a negative way, and you're still thinking about it. All right, thank you, Spirit. Let's look deeper into this dolphin person. See what comes up on the bottom. Chasing. So I get the sense that you are kind of like in the chaser mind, or you've been in a chaser vibe, um, which is classic for divine feminines early on in this journey. Again, if you resonate with being a twin flame, but I feel like you've been working on overcoming your chaser wounds. Again, attracting, not chasing, not going the extra mile to prove that you're lovable or that you're worth being with, because you're learning your own sense of worth and knowing that, yeah, you are that bitch with or without this person in your life. So I feel like you are starting to, come to terms with your chaser energy, and discovering the places where you need to heal. So I get the sense that you're healing this chaser energy more than anything else. But cool. Let's go ahead and dive a little bit deeper. Thank you, Spirit. Can we look deeper into this dolphin person's energy when it comes to this connection, please, Spirit? Thank you. This dolphin person for our Taurus viewers. Two more, please, Spirit. Ooh, one more, please, Spirit, for our dolphin person. Cool. Thanks, Spirit. So we have second chance on the bottom here. So I get the sense that you really do want to reconnect with this bee person. And I doubly believe that because you have return as one of the cards that came out for you. So I feel like you definitely want this bee person to return. You want to have a second chance with them. You want to see this work. The other card that came out for you is Divine Masculine. So this could mean a couple of things. This could mean, on the one hand, that again, you're embracing your divine masculine energy. You're stepping into your divine masculine energy and taking charge of your own life, and of doing the hard work of healing your emotional imbalances. But this could also mean, and what I'm leaning towards more, is that you feel like this bee person is your divine masculine, your divine counterpart. And basically, you've got them on your mind right now and how you want to have a second chance with them. Definitely, because you have hoping as the third card here. So definitely hoping for a reconnection with your, or who you see as your divine masculine, your divine counterpart. And we had that broken mirror card before, and now we have breaking point. So I feel like you definitely, are hitting a low. Again, that Ten of Swords energy that's come out. Feeling, like you've been backstabbed and betrayed, and hitting rock bottom. And we'll see if the Ten of Swords comes out for you actually. But what I want to say about the Ten of Swords is that it looks really bleak. The guy, he's like laying on the ground. He's got 10 swords in his back. He looks like he's dying, or that he's died. Hopefully YouTube doesn't censor me for that. But he's also making a gesture of blessing. I don't know if that's it, but like the Hierophant makes on his card. And what that is representative of is being a blessing in disguise, something that seemed really horrible at the time actually turning out to be a blessing. So I feel like, despite all the hardships, despite, the separation and the pain that you may have gone through with this person, it has led you to a lot of growth and realizations about yourself, about, again, the things that you have been carrying around with you, childhood wounds, childhood traumas, and you're starting to do the work of peeling back those layers of feeling unworthy, or like you're not enough, or feeling like you have to extend and go the extra mile when somebody pulls away. But as divine feminines, if that resonates with you, the most powerful thing that we can do is actually, take all that energy that we're flowing and pushing on to our masculines or our counterparts, and funneling it into ourselves and our own energy, our own work, our own missions, right? I get the sense that you're coming to that realization or those realizations again because of this dolphin energy, which talks about again being a light worker, a healer of some sort. But I feel like you've gone through the lowest points of this connection, and you've had awakenings and realizations and understandings. Perhaps you're just coming to the idea of twin flames. Maybe you didn't know much about that before, but you've done research and you're like, oh my goodness, no, like this is very resonant with what's been happening with me and my person. And if that's the case, then you also know, or you should if you don't, that the twin flame journey or intense soul connections, they are often more about teaching us about ourselves than it is about the relationship with the other person. So I feel like in terms of that train of thought, you guys are certainly, doing the right thing. You guys are on the right path when it comes to this journey. And you're doing a lot of healing. You're healing yourself. And as a result, you're healing, you healing yourself it's like a red string, right? The more you elevate and climb, the more your person is going to be kind of like drug up with you, right? So the more energy you can invest into your own healing, again, embrace that feminine energy. Don't overextend, don't reach out. Unfortunately, no contact is the way that it seems to work best for most of us here, especially if you find that you're dealing with an avoidant personality, which many divine masculines are, if you feel like that card was representative of how you feel about this bumblebee. But speaking of the bumblebee, let's go ahead and dive a little bit deeper into their energy. So thank you, Spirit. Let's go ahead and look deeper into our Taurus viewers' person's energy. The person that our viewer is attached to right now when it comes to this connection, this bumblebee energy. Let's get a closer look. Thank you, Spirit. I'm laughing because it's running, right? Classic twin flame situation. No surprise that I channel a lot of twin flame connections, I feel, because I also resonate with being a twin flame. So you got chasing energy in your cuts, right? And your person has running. So, and that cheetah was running too, right? So I feel like, your person has definitely pulled back from you. Maybe you haven't heard from them in days, weeks, months, maybe longer. But they're running right now. They're in runner mode. At the same time, I do think they're still healing and elevating and doing the work with the bee and with that cheetah that came out for them. And we also have releasing. So I feel like more than releasing the connection, maybe that's what they're trying to do. It's not going to work for very long if that's the case. But I feel like they're releasing, again, their negative things, just like you are. Remember, we had that frog, we had that stingray for their other animal cards that are at play for them. So I feel like they're doing the work of releasing their own toxic habits, just as you are. However, masculine wounds, and I'm not gendering anybody, energy is energy, and it has very little to do with like physical gender. But they're doing that work to grow their own backbone so they can come back towards you in a way that actually matches what you deserve, right? So they may be running right now and trying to release this situation, but I think more so than that, they're really just doing their own healing work and focusing on what they can do to improve themselves. And maybe it's very materially focused right now. I feel like the bee energy, even though it's air energy, it gives me earth, like pentacles vibes. So I feel like they're doing work to maybe distract themselves from trying to dive too deeply into this healing, but I think they're doing more or less they're doing the work that they need to do to heal, just like you are. They're just their wounds are just a little different. Let's see what comes up on the bottom of the deck for this B person's energy, please, Spirit. For this B energy for our Taurus viewers. Ooh, intuition. So I feel like they're starting to become aware. They have the lizard too. Again, starting to become aware, being awakened to, you know, the other world, if you will. I feel like they're starting to tap into and unlock their intuition. Um, it's a harder journey for the masculines than it is for the feminines because we tend to be more kind of naturally inclined or attuned to the spirit world. We tend to operate from the upper three chakras, while the masculine energy tends to operate more from the lower three. But they're starting to unlock that ESP that honestly we all have available to us. But yeah, they're doing the work. They're building a backbone again with this stingray, and they're starting to tap into their intuition more and more. So thank you, Spirit. Let's get a deeper look into this B energy for our Taurus viewers. Thank you, Spirit. This B energy for our Taurus viewers. The person's energy that they are connected to. One, two, three. Two more, please, Spirit. Gonna zhuzh it around a little bit, and then we'll try to see, get a couple more to come out. Two more, please, Spirit, for this B energy, please. Two more cards, please. One more card, please, for this bumblebee person when it comes to this connection. Thank you, Spirit. Twin flame is on the bottom for this bee person. So I feel like this is absolutely a twin flame connection for my Taurus collective, whoever ends up finding their way here. This person, this bee person, feels like you guys are on a twin flame journey. They feel a very deep soul connection to you. They cannot escape it no matter how hard they try. Okay. Ooh, interesting. So, first thing that came out for this bumblebee person was time. So remember, if at the beginning of the reading we had that crocodile energy come out for this bumblebee person, so that's waiting, that's cooling off, that's hangman energy, a divine pause, waiting for the right moment to strike, right? That's what this card represents. Your person is cooling off and they are waiting for the right time to come back to you. And in the meantime, they are, doing whatever they can to distract themselves, they're focusing on work. In the process, I feel like, again, they are healing in the background, but in the foreground of their mind, I think they're very focused on trying their best to kind of like break away from this connection in a way. But again, with that fire ant energy on their side too, they're stewing about this connection. They cannot let it go. And if this is a twin flame connection, they won't be able to. Not completely, not fully. But I do think that you guys had some sort of final kind of like, this is it, we're done, like no more after this. Because they feel like there's been a sense of finality in this connection. Farewells, leave behind, closure. We also had that releasing card, right? So maybe you put up a boundary with this bumblebee person and you were like, hey, if you're not going to treat me right, then we're not going to keep doing this. We're not going to keep talking. And that's good because Just because you feel really intense feelings for somebody does not mean you should like let them walk all over you, because that's just, you're just teaching that person that they don't really have to treat you with any kind of respect, right? And I'm not saying that, you know, you have let this person walk all over you. I'm just saying I know from personal experience, from my own journey, how hard it can be to draw strong boundaries and choose yourself. And I have trouble with it a lot of the time. But I get the sense that you have put up a boundary again, because this person, this bumblebee person, feels like there's been a, a farewell of sorts, like a closing of the door. Um, but at the same time that you're having realizations about this connection, they're starting to gain clarity and starting to see the truth of their own side of things. And again, starting to see where maybe they've gone wrong, or maybe they have um, treated you with less than you deserved. But I feel like they're having clarity about these things. Um, and the thing is that they want to come back and confess things to you and be honest with you, um, about how they're feeling, about what this connection means to them, about how, you know, you've triggered them to grow and change just like they've triggered you. I feel like they want to come forward and confess their real feelings for you, more or less. And we also have spying. So you had that on your cut, and now it came out for them in their reading. So that's mirroring energy too. That's twin flame energy. But you guys are both spying on each other, even though you may not be talking right now, even though you've erected boundaries, or, you know, told them, hey, if you're not going to treat me right, then we're not going to do this and you can just leave me alone. um Twin flames mirroring. I lost my train of thought, but that's it in a nutshell. So, you know, you, who I'm pretty sure are this dolphin person, you are leaning into your divine feminine energy. Yes, you've reached your breaking point with this situation. You've gone through a lot of emotional pain, but it's led to a lot of learning and realizations and awakenings on your side of things. And yes, you're still hoping for this person to return. You do want a second chance with them. But I get the sense that you are at a place where you're starting to, again, channel all of that energy into yourself, into elevating yourself, into working on your mission. If that, you know, again, resonates with you, if you resonate with wanting to be a light worker, um, that's your vibe right now. Your person, in their own ways, they are embracing their masculine energy, with that cheetah card. You know, again, running, right? And running came out on their cut. So very twin flame coded. Um, so you guys are likely in no contact or in separation right now. They're doing work. They're focusing on their material world. They're trying to build up their backbone, and, you know, stand up for who they are and what they like and what they want, without worrying about the opinions of outside of others. They're still stewing on this connection. Um, they're watching you, and they're having realizations about what this connection really means for them, for their growth, and what you guys mean to each other. And they want to come back forward and, you know, confess all the feelings that they've been holding back from you for however long it's been. So, very interesting. But again, you're doing all the right things, Taurus. So keep focusing on yourself, keep building yourself up. And again, the more you heal, the more you can bring yourself up, the more that red string is going to yank up this bee person too. It's already working, is what it seems like to me. They're just a little slower on the uptake than feminines tend to be. Again, not gendering anybody, but yeah. So let's go ahead and look deeper into your energy with a tarot pull. So thank you, Spirit. Let's look into this dolphin person's energy. So what was I saying about boundaries? This is the Nine of Wands, and this is the Wounded Warrior card. Somebody who has come a long way, and it's definitely, feels really beaten up, feels like, can't, feels like they almost can't go on anymore, but they know that they're almost to the end. Nine is right before 10, which is the end of the suit in tarot before the court cards. Um, and battered and bruised, but still wanting to continue, still wanting to push forward. But the reason I talked about boundaries is because you can see the wands in the background here. This person has boundaries erected, and it probably hurt them to erect these boundaries, but they knew it had to be done for their own protection, right? So they can actually do the work to heal, so they can make it to the end of their own cycles, right? So I feel like that's definitely your energy, what you are focusing on. Healing from the long journey that has taken place so far. On this cut, we also have the Three of Cups. So this is all about, this is that third party energy, right? Or influences energy. I feel like you're really focusing on having fun and having good times with friends, focusing on your own abundance and elevating your own vibrations. Again, that otter energy, focusing on your own happiness, which is exactly what you should be doing. So keep it up. Let's keep looking. Thank you. This dolphin person, please, Spirit, a little bit more. What else do we have going on for this dolphin person? We have Seven of Cups energy. So this talks about feeling emotionally overwhelmed or feeling like you don't know what choice to make exactly. Seven of Cups also talks about options or feeling like you were made to be an option by this B person. So maybe you felt like they were not prioritizing you in this connection. And yeah, I feel like you just emotionally overwhelmed or have been in the recent past. Again, with that breaking point energy. Let's do one more and then we'll see what ends up on the bottom. Thanks, Spirit. This dolphin person's energy. Ooh, the Tower on this cut. So you've definitely had some sort of major shakeup recently. Could be this connection in particular. It could just be, life circumstances. Something shaky, something with a shaky foundation has fallen away or is starting to fall away. And you're also having major, again, realizations. Because if you look on the tower, you can see that this lightning bolt is kind of like striking through the crown of this person's, well, not this person's head, but that's what it represents, the tower, the lightning, you know what I mean? So I feel like, you have gone through some craziness, but you are having these realizations that are leading to your own growth and elevation. But all right, let's see what comes out on the bottom of the deck for you. Thank you, Spirit. This dolphin person's energy. The Eight of Cups. So this talks about walking away from something emotionally that no longer serves you. So I feel like you are, even though you do hope and want a return from this person, from this B person, I feel like you are at the point where you know that this connection is no longer serving you in the way that you need it to. And it might be sad for you. I'm sure it is. But at the end of the day, you know that what the best course of action for you is at this time is for you to walk away, at least for now, until this person has shown that they can meet you on your level. And again, that's exactly what you should be doing. Don't wait for this person. You need to keep focusing on, again, you. And again, the more you heal, the more you elevate, the more they're not going to have a choice but to rise up and try to catch up with you. It's that red string thing, right? But thank you, Spirit. Let's go ahead and look deeper into this dolphin person's energy, please. For this dolphin person, the world, that's beautiful energy. This dolphin person, please, Spirit, this dolphin person's energy. One more, please, Spirit. Okay, well, here we have the Page of Swords on the cut. This is that spying energy, right? This is that keeping an eye on somebody. So I feel like you're definitely, in that vein. You guys are still keeping an eye on each other. The first card that came out for you here is the World. I forgot she's naked, so I can't really show you guys that. But this is all about feeling like, you're elevating in a way. This is like the completion of cycles, taking everything that you've learned. The World is representative of the final step in the Fool's journey. So the Fool goes from 0 to 21 of a major arcana. And on every stop he makes with every major arcana character he meets, he learns lessons from them. And the World is the last step on the Fool's journey before it starts all over again from 0. So the World is all about completing a cycle and feeling like you've leveled up and elevated in a way. And you're ready to take the next step in your journey to like be born again, right? With everything that you've learned so far, to like aid you on your journey. So I feel like you definitely have reached some sort of leveling up, some sort of energy of leveling up here. We also have the Moon. So the Moon talks on the one hand about confusion, illusions, not seeing things clearly. And that obscurity card came out for you in your cut, if you remember, in the oracle cards we just looked at. So I feel like, you definitely have been confused about the situation. This B person has been confusing to you. But I also get the sense, because the Moon is also feminine energy and it's also about connecting to your intuition and trusting in the unknown, right? And having faith. I feel like you are embracing that energy more and more too. So leaning into your intuition. And yes, things might not seem completely clear to you, like how this person is moving or why they're moving a certain way or XYZ, whatever. The truth is, their journey is theirs to make, and your journey is yours to make. And if you're lucky, you guys will continue to, again, if this is a twin flame connection, if that resonates for you, you guys will continually come back and meet over and over and over and over again and trigger each other over and over and over and over again until you really have purged all of the things that have been holding you down and keeping you stuck. So yeah, I feel like that energy is at play. But again, I feel like your intuition is becoming more on point. You're, again, becoming more attuned with that owl energy to messages from spirit, to signs and synchronicities. And, that's all part of the path. That's all part of the journey. And the third card that came out for you was the Ace of Cups. So it popped out in reverse. And my intuition is telling me that it should be upright, but I do want to comment on what it could mean in the reverse in case that is more relevant to you. So aces in reverse, all aces in the upright are about, sparks of inspiration or a brand new beginning. That's kind of seems like it's come out of nowhere from spirit. In the reverse here, it could feel like a missed opportunity or something that, you feel like you missed out on an emotional connection, because this is cups here. You feel like you've missed out on this connection. And maybe that's why, you've hit this breaking point and you're still hoping for this return of this B person, because you feel like in some way, shape, or form you've missed out on a powerful emotional connection with them. But I feel like, at the same time, in the upright, this is all about having brand new emotional beginnings. And so I feel like both energies are sort of relevant, and that's why it came out in reverse. And my guide's spirit is telling me to, explain it upright too, because you are having these realizations, you are having these new emotional beginnings as well, about, your growth and your healing. And cups are about healing too. So that energy, I mean, yes, if you feel like you missed out on this opportunity, know again that if this is a real twin flame connection, a real divine connection, there's nothing you can really do that would cause this person to, unless of course you just completely blow it up, and that's a choice you make if you don't want this relationship to continue. But I know that you do, because I can see it in the cards here. Excuse me. But yeah, you're having new emotional beginnings, you're focusing on your own healing. And I'm just telling you, you didn't miss it, you didn't miss out on it. You don't want to be with somebody who's not healed, because they're just going to drag you down, right? You deserve a partner who can meet you where you're at. And again, don't wait for them. Keep doing your thing, keep leveling up, keep, take everything that you've learned so far on this journey and use it to fuel your next steps. Keep leaning into your intuition, and, let the illusion start to fall away, because the more that you can lean into faith and trust, I think, the less and less you become concerned with what appears to be happening on the surface, because people wear masks all the time. You could be spying on this B person and seeing that they are, out and about and, with other people, and it seems like they're having a good time, but they're not actually. They tend to be having just as tough of a time as you are. They're just better at hiding it. But um all of that to say, keep trusting your intuition, keep leaning into that divine feminine energy. Trust in yourself, trust in this journey. Know that for the most part you cannot control this. Your ego, you're gonna have to fight your ego on this. Divine timing is the name of the game here. um so just keep focusing on your healing, keep focusing on elevating yourself again, and this person can't help, will not be able to help, but be pulled back to you. So yeah, and I want to say before um, we look into your other person's, or to your person's energy, underneath the Eight of Cups, we have a High Priestess. So the High Priestess is, again, being in touch with your intuition. That's another card of intuition. The Moon and the High Priestess both showing up for you. That's divine feminine energy if I've seen it in a reading. But this is also, a knowing without having to ask. This is just, again, being in touch with the universe, being in touch with source energy. And the High Priestess holds back too. She's divine feminine energy, just like the queens and just like the empress, but her realm is just more spiritual than it is in the physical. So yeah, I feel like you're definitely embracing the side of your energy, you're embracing your intuition, you're seeing all these signs from spirit, and you're learning to trust the process. Maybe that's part of the realizations that you're having. And it's not wrong to want a second chance with this person and hoping for that they'll come back. It seems like they want to, they're just waiting for the right time to come forward and confess to you. But again, don't wait for them, keep focusing on yourself, and again, they can't help but come back to you. All right, we're going to look into your person's energy now. Thank you, Spirit. Let's look into this B person's energy when it comes to this connection. What energy are they currently in when it comes to this connection? Let us look. This B person, please, Spirit. What energy are they in? So right away we have the Knight of Swords. So this is somebody who is maybe a little impulsive, maybe a little emotionally disconnected, somebody who puts logic over the heart. But somebody who is, charging forward despite any fears or reservations they might have about what exactly they're facing. This guy, the Knight of Swords, he does not care what the problem is. He just knows he has to solve it. And he has no qualms about rushing into battle. He's usually pretty, again, pretty logical, pretty good at thinking on his feet and planning ahead. But sometimes it can be a little impulsive. Sometimes it can be a little bit of a know-it-all, right? And sometimes they could be a little rash in their choices. But I feel like this person is, again, charging forward despite the dangers. Let me see what it says here. Ambitious, action oriented, driven to succeed, fast thinking, and defending beliefs. So again, action oriented. I feel like, again, working the B energy, doing work. But yeah, charging forward. So progress is being made, I feel, on their side. They have the cheetah too, which is also, again, divine masculine energy, running energy, but I think they're running to growth and to healing. Because on the other side here, we have temperance for them. And temperance is all about balance and things coming into balance. And transfiguration, right? Transforming of pain into power. Among other things, but you get the vibe, right? Your person is healing. Your person is finding balance again. And, they're charging forward on their own path in their own ways. Let's look a little more. The Empress. This is you, my friend. This is divine feminine energy. It's representative of divine feminine. So you are on their mind. They are thinking about you, bestie. So don't let that mask fool you if you see that they're wearing one. They're thinking about you. Let's do one more cut and we'll see what ends up on the bottom here. Ooh. So on this cut, we have the Four of Pentacles. So this is somebody who's clinging very tightly, again, to their material world. This guy has, money on his mind, money on his heart, and then money as his foundation. So much so that he has removed himself from the city that's in the background here. So he's isolated, or has isolated himself in favor of, working, again, that B energy, on building up his foundations and feeling secure. Whenever the Four of Pentacles shows up in a love reading, I also get the sense that they are clinging on to this connection. Because yes, cups are emotional energy. So they have, when it comes to relationships, they're very prominent. But pentacles are more than just money, right? It's the material world, it's material relationships, it's material pleasures. So in my opinion, 3D relationships count as, something that pentacles could talk to. And this guy is clinging on to this connection in a roundabout way. This person is still clinging on to you and clinging on to this. And they're finding their balance again. All right, Spirit, let's see what comes up on the bottom for this bumblebee person. The Ace of Pentacles. See, more pentacles, more material world. But they're focusing, they want a new beginning with you, just like you do. They want to have a new opportunity. They want to build something stable. The Ace of Pentacles is like a seed that you plant, and you wait for it to grow and prosper. And Pentacles are a slow suit because they're very meticulous. It's very slow and steady wins the race. It's like, I want to make sure that I'm doing this the right way. So they want, again, to offer this new opportunity to you. They want to have a new beginning with you, to build something stable and lasting. All right, let's look a little bit deeper, please, Spirit, into this B person's energy. Thank you, Spirit. This B person's energy when it comes to this connection. This B person's energy. 1. I don't know when that one came out. One more, please, Spirit. Thanks. Okay, so on the bottom here, we have the 5 of Cups. So this person, your B person, is absolutely feeling a sense of loss and grief and sadness around this whole situation. If you walked away from this person, which again I saw that you did with that 8 of Cups, that's where they have this sense of finality from, because you built those boundaries. They're sad about it. They regret what happened. And they wish that they could change things. They wish that they could express the truth to you, because they're just starting to see it themselves. But again, they're waiting on the right time. So they're holding back, right? Let's see what came out here. Ooh, we have the Empress, the Queen of Pentacles, and the Fool. So I get the sense that this is all you, my friend. So first things first, the 9 of Pentacles talks about getting to a place where you can reap the rewards of all the hard work that you put into something, right? This is boss bitch energy. The 9 of Pentacles is kind of like the apprentice in a way to the Empress. She's like, on her way there. So again, I get the sense that this B person is focusing on their foundations, working on building themselves up so they can feel secure in themselves, feel proud of the work that they've done, and come back towards you with something substantial to actually offer. But I also get the sense that this is how they see you, as somebody who holds their own and is building themselves up too. And the reason, so I feel like this is applicable to both of those scenarios. So they are working on themselves, and they do see you as somebody who is a boss bitch in their own way. But they also see you as the Queen of Pentacles. Divine feminine energy here again. So I definitely get the sense of twin flame here. But they see you as this beautiful, nurturing, kind, motherly. Of course, I don't mean like that, but somebody who is warm and inviting, and somebody that they know will take care of them, or has the capacity to. The Queen of Pentacles is the most motherly queen. Her and the Queen of Cups for me are two sides of the same coin. Queen of Cups is very emotionally available, and the Queen of Pentacles is very good at like the housewife kind of vibe. But they see you this way. They see, and this is earth energy too, just like you are earth energy. So they definitely see you as this beautiful, feminine, magnetic energy that holds it down and has her stuff together. And I feel like they want to share in that with you. They can't help but be drawn to you. And they want to have a brand new beginning with you. They want to take the leap of faith. They want to take a risk and kind of let all caution go to the wind and just jump without, second guessing everything. So yeah, I get the sense that your person, they want to come forward and confess how they really feel about you, maybe how hard this time apart has been for them too. But yeah, if they're working on their own stability, they want to be able to stand on their own 2 feet and to be able to offer you something of value with that 9 of Pentacles, because they know that you are a person of value. with that Queen of Pentacles. So yeah, but right now, you know, they're starting to gain some clarity about stuff. But I feel like with the boundaries that you put up with this person, they feel like, you know, now is not the right time to come towards you. They know they need to give themselves some time to see things from a new perspective and to elevate and to step into their own divine masculine energy. But again, they're keeping their eye on you. You guys are spying on each other. And yeah, they want to have a new beginning with you. So again, don't let the mask fool you if that's all you're really seeing right now from your spying, from your end of things. They are certainly in pain, and they're certainly doing a lot of growth behind the scenes, even if you're not fully aware of it right now. But I mean, also just a final note that your animal cards are facing each other. I don't know if it might not work on here. No, it doesn't. They face away when I show you, but when I'm looking down here, the dolphin is facing the bee and the bee is facing the dolphin. So you guys are definitely coming together in your own time, in divine timing, I should say, not your time. It's divine timing. But yeah, trust that your person is doing the work. I know it's hard when you can't see it and when it looks like they're doing everything but trying to grow. But a lot of divine masculines, they grow in silence. I don't know why that is. You have to ask the universe. But they do a lot of their works behind the scenes. And they don't let it be known because they all wear masks. But trust that they're doing the work. Trust that they're thinking of you. Trust that they want the second chance just like you do. They want to come forward and confess their truths to you. Even though this boundary has been erected right now, and it probably should have been. So I'm going to say, I know you're hoping for a return to keep focusing just on yourself and on your growth and on your healing, and it will become impossible eventually for this person to not take that step and try to bridge the gap. So yeah, that's what I have for you, Taurus. I was going to say Virgo again. But if you found that this reading resonates with you, I would love it if you guys would like and comment and subscribe. I would love to hear from you. I'd love to hear how this resonated with you. And yeah, we're going to go ahead and close off your reading with one final piece of advice for you from the Wisdom of the Oracle Spirit deck. So thank you, Spirit. Can we get one final piece of advice for our Taurus viewers? What can they leave here with to just, you know, give them some light to leave here with, to give them some peace? Thank you, Spirit. One final piece of advice for our viewer, for our Taurus viewer. One final piece of advice, please, when it comes to this connection. One final piece of advice, please, for our Taurus viewer. Okay, a very specific card once again wants to come out. We trust the process here. Zhuzh these around a little bit. One more. That works. Thank you, Spirit. One final piece of advice, please, for our Taurus viewer. One final piece of advice, please. Thank you. So, what came up on the bottom first was breathe. So this is, you know, take a step back. Don't put all your energy into trying to fix the situation or to make it work. Take a step back. Embrace that divine feminine energy that I saw all up in your reading. Just be calm. Focus on your healing. Focus on yourself. But what actually came out for you, and I talked about this a lot in this reading too, the TikTok card. This is about divine timing and waiting for divine timing and letting things play out in divine timing, not ego timing, divine timing. So I'm going to read what the message here says in the book, even though that is the crux of it. And then we'll leave your reading there. So TikTok is number 30. So 3 could be significant, 333. If you guys have been seeing that number, that could be significant for you. 30. So TikTok. So the essential meanings here: timelessness, divine timing, and immeasurable time. Whatever. But the oracle's message here is, when humans created time, everything changed and contracted. People have come to look at life in a linear way, imagining that the past is behind them and the future ahead of them. But what if that isn't true at all? What if everything, creativity, beauty, chaos, and order, were happening now in a glorious timelessness? You have all the time in the world to co-create the life you desire. So release your agenda, I say. Let go of your need to shape each moment to your expectations, knowing that what is yours will never be withheld from you. Miracles are here right now and always show up when you need them, right on time. So another thing about blessings is come up for you, so I would expect a blessing to come your way soon if it hasn't already by the time you find this message. I'm going to read the relationship message here since this is a love reading, and then we will leave it there. So the relationship message for this card, it says, love, the fulfillment of desire, and even the body's reproductive cycles have their own timetable. Some things are preordained and cannot be coerced. Everything has its season, its divine and appropriate timing, especially when it comes to matters of the heart. Remember that you always have enough time for love, to find it, to nurture it, to give and receive it. Its clock is eternal and ticks according to the beating of your heart, in perfect rhythm. Isn't that wonderful to know? Love is always right on time. So yes, trust the universe, trust the process, keep healing, keep doing the beautiful work that you're doing. And again, your person is going to come back in divine timing when it's right for the both of you, when spirit deems it so. But yeah, that was your reading, Taurus. Thank you guys again for being here, and we will see you in the next one. All right, take care. Bye.